in the beginning of the march, I really thought it was going to be really small, you know. And even when we were in the park, and even when the march started, it looked like it was so small, but it seemed like people came in from the neighborhoods to actually join, because then when we were at the end, it was this huge thing. Remember that big park?
It was almost like, where did all these people come from?
Yeah, because in the start it was just so small, and somehow it just grew like 40 times what was that in that little park when we started.
Like, it wasn't as big as like the May Day marches in LA, but one thing I really liked about it was that there was a bigger sense of community because of like the handing out of water. Like, you don't see that
here. Right here, they want you to pay for it, you know?
Yeah, like, you don't see, like, street vendors. Exactly. And, I mean, there were street vendors and paleteros and things like that, but, I mean, it was, like, these, like...
Not trying to take advantage.
Yeah, it looked almost like it was families who, like, loaded up their truck with ice and water bottles and said, let's go. And it was, like, trucks at, like, every corner almost. And they would just, like, call you out and give you, like, freaking bottles and bottles of water. Like, it wasn't like, okay, take one. It was just take as many as you need. You know, and I thought that was really cool because I felt like it was more like, you know, they want you to be there. They want you out there because it's kind of like, well, they need you out there. And so I thought that was a way of them being like, okay, well, you know, because we want you to come out, we're going to welcome you with open arms and give you this as a thank you gift. Almost.
Yeah, in that sense, I felt it. I know more than these marches, the May Day march here, in that sense.
Yeah. Being in LA, like, you know a lot of, like, the organizations that are out here. You know, like, the student movements. You know that there's, like, the schools that are involved. But you don't really hear that from Arizona. Like, from the news reports, you never heard, okay, well, there's this organization or there's, you know, this group of people doing this. It was just, okay, well, there's SB 1070 and there's, you know, the sheriff, and then there's, you know, this law, but you don't hear of, like, what the people are doing for themselves. And I think that's problematic because it also makes it seem like El Pueblo can't defend itself, you know? When we were marching, there was a house, and on top of the house, there was a group of, like, white people. They were in, like, in their 20s, 30s, and they were dressed as aliens. And they had a spaceship on top of their roof.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like, well, are they with us or are they against us?
Yeah, it was really
weird. It wasn't clear. Because it was almost like they were dressed as aliens throwing a big party. And so it was just kind of like, well, what does that mean? And I think for me, it was offensive. Because I was like, are you calling me an alien and are you making fun of me for being that? Yeah. Or, you know, like,
do you just not know, you know, what kind of message you're showing? You know, it could have been that they were, you know, for us and they just didn't know exactly what they wanted to do it, or yeah.
So, I mean, it could have been like they don't really understand the problem of the word alien as a whole. So, you know, it's kind of like it might be ignorance.